Hey guys, very good morning and welcome to a new daily market outlook. So in today's outlook, as per usual, the DXY is going to be discussed. We're going to have a look at the DXY pushing further in towards lows and currently making its pullback from the highlighted zone I mentioned yesterday. So with that said, let's dive straight in. So to begin with, the DXY, of course. So the DXY saw a further decline yesterday in towards my zone, which I had on the daily time frame. So as we can see, the 880 played out to absolute perfection. And yeah, the push of yesterday mainly came due to the GDP result. So the market watchers pushed the market down further once it reported that in Q2 the GDP rose just 6.5%, which was a huge miss due to the 8.5 expected, and it was just barely higher than Q1's 6.4%. So the market interpreted this news in regards to the GDP as bearish, and therefore we did see that further drop in towards my area of demand within the market yesterday. So looking at the market at the moment, we can see that we have broken out of that ascending channel or wedge beautifully, currently tapped in towards daily demand and are currently making that pullback. So at the moment, what I am looking for essentially is a beautiful pullback back up in towards the highs. So looking at the current price action, I would say something like this. So then looking at a pullback somewhere in the area of the 618 fib, to then go short once again on this pair. So most of you or some of you might wonder, well, why doesn't he draw on his fib, let's say like this, and then trade the 786 long from where we currently are? You could do that, but that is a high risk setup as I am expecting an overall larger correction. Quickly just drawing in the fib, this is the correction that I am expecting, all the way back down to at least the 618, and then this zone at around 90.675. Yeah, so DXY playing out to absolute perfection. Just going to be waiting for it to push down lower after making a pullback, getting more strength to then push down lower. So looking at the zone 91.880 playing out to beautiful perfection. Big fan of this zone. Looks good so far for a pullback, so let's see, precision is on point for today. With that said, let's head over to Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, I'm looking at Aussie dollar at the moment. We have pushed up higher, created a new higher high on the 1 hour in the form of this high, as opposed to, let's say, this structure over here and these highs over here. So a new higher high has been made. Looking at the 4 hour, we can also see that a new higher high has been made. For now, what is the expectation? Well, personally, just waiting for the pullback. Let's see what happens today. Let's see how we correct, because that will also be important, and see how far the DXY goes, right? So at the moment, not really necessarily a very big fan of Aussie dollar still. Looking at the current price action, what we can also see is potentially this ascending wedge. So what we've now seen is the 1, the 2, and then the 3. So we could start breaking down lower. The Australian dollar is pretty weak because of the COVID cases in the country going up, skyrocketing. Also, the army has been pulled in towards the situation to take COVID under control, or to start controlling COVID. So that is also interpreted as very bearish by the market. So it could be that even though the dollar index is weak, of course, and I do expect the dollar index to push further down, that the Australian dollar is even weaker due to the COVID cases and the army intervening. So at the moment, I'm not really a big fan of Aussie dollar. I'm going to leave it for what it is. I do expect more downside today, but I will not engage in a setup, even though it is a potential 618 setup like this. So that mainly just has to do with the fact of the current wedge that we're forming. And essentially, if you go to the daily, we are still in that downtrend, and we could still come back down for a potential double bottom within this greater zone of around 0.73037 towards 0.72656, then form the double bottom and then potentially start rising. So that is it for Aussie dollar. Good to keep an eye on this ascending wedge. So with that said, let's head over to euro dollar. Euro dollar bullish as expected. Beautiful to see. Looking at the current price action, we just missed out on this swing high up above over here, which is a pity in my opinion, but yeah, it is what it is. Good to see the euro dollar flying up further as expected for some time now. So we have seen a trend break on the 4-hour going in towards the daily. Going in towards the daily. You can see that we are currently breaking structure. We've broken this lower high over here, so we are bullish in my opinion on the daily. Then looking at the daily, what you could say is that we are going to move up higher at a certain point in time going towards the 4-hour. This is of course an area of major structure up around over here, so we could see a pullback towards it before heading up higher. Quickly drawing in a fib, you'll see that the 618 aligns pretty nicely with that zone. So yeah, currently just going to be waiting for a pullback on euro dollar. See a nice potential pattern form to then go long further in towards the highs. That's kind of the goal of or the game plan for euro dollar. Nothing more, nothing less. So that said, let's head over to pound dollar. And pound dollar currently rejecting beautifully, as we can see, currently breaking out towards the downside. So we're currently at this lower trend line, which is essential to break. We have these two trend lines, so of the overall larger channel and of the smaller channel slash wedge. So let's see if we can break out. I will start believing in shorts once we break this trend line. We already broke this mini trend line on the lower time frame, which was a very good sign last night. And as I said, this is supply, and as we can see, we are seeing deceleration within the market, and we are seeing pound dollar currently pull back. So let's see if the momentum can hold. Still expecting further downside on pound dollar, also alongside the pullback on the DXY. So yeah, let's see. Still convinced that we are going to push down lower. So I hope that is clear. With that said, let's head over to Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar, so Kiwi dollar broke up higher. We can see that we made a new higher high in comparison to this high over here. So now what you can do is draw in a fib like this to here. So let's quickly do that. And what you'll then see is that the 618 aligns pretty nicely with, and I just have to delete these two lines, but with this area of imbalance within the market. So just above the 618, we have an area of imbalance, which can also be seen as an area of demand. That is the zone that I am looking for some potential longs. Let's see if we get some nice descending price action in towards that 618, in towards that imbalance over here, which occurred on the 28th of July at 11 p.m. So let's see. Looks good. I'm quite the fan of it for now. And I do think we could still see a push up higher going towards the daily. Daily has taken out this previous high. So daily is looking, in some way bullish. Going back to the 4-hour clean impulse. So let's see how we pull back. You can't really draw in any trend lines. Maybe this one, if you just disregard the liquidity wick over here. But still not a big fan of trading this pair at the moment. It's just not clear enough for me. And I think that other pairs are looking more clear, such as, for instance, pound dollar. So that said, let's head over to our last pair, which is gold. And gold is currently in my reversal zone, expecting some downside from here, looking for a pullback. Some guys are already in this trade from also up above at around 1830. Got some people asking me questions about the position. I shared this within Discord. So currently waiting for a pullback on gold in towards the lows, let's say the 618, to then take a potential long further in towards the highs towards 1855. That's kind of the main goal. However, we could already break this structure. As we can see, gold momentum is high. So let's see if we do break it. Just look for the break retest and trade it in towards 075, as that is a very strong area of supply within the market. Yep. So let's see. Thank you all for watching today once again. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to send me a message as always. And thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Link is in the description down below. Thanks, guys.